Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of the Rider Review after a 28-23 victory by the Saskatchewan Roughriders over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Let's get it out of the way. This game could have easily been a 37-23 win for the Riders had it not been for the abysmal performance, let's call it what it was, horrible performance by Brett Lauther. He missed 3 field goals, and I think he missed an extra point. However, one of those field goals was turned into a rouge, as Lauther was able to kick it through the end zone. Here's where Saskatchewan stands with Lauther right now. We know what happens. We know how Lauther plays. This could just be a one-off game for Lauther because, you know what? Things happen, right? That's just what it is. Or this could be one of those times where he goes on a 3 to 4 game skid and he plays horribly, and then he goes on an absolute tear to finish out the season. You know what? Either way, we're going to get the old Lauther back. Brett Lauther's going to be back, and he's going to be kicking field goals. And he's going to hit a streak of them. It's how he plays. It's what happens. Now, I don't know if it's a good thing to be happening consistently. In fact, I don't think it is. I'm just going to be flat out with you. It's not a great thing to be happening consistently. When you have kickers like, Richie Leone and Lewis Ward and all these guys that can hit like that, when they can just, no matter what, they're not bad. But I think things, the way Mace is coaching this team, it was indoor practices. I was able to see both of them meet. That just means no kicking. Team was not able to, not even the punter was able to punt. So it's sometimes how things happen, and it's, you got to roll with the punches in Saskatchewan. And with all the smoke, experiencing it firsthand, there is not much you can do. Let's look at the offense here. Trevor Harris was 26 for 37, or was 26 of 37 for 295 passing yards, a touchdown, and interception. This longest being 28. Both him and Bo were going toe-to-toe. Harris was so good. And you know what he usually is? He is one of the highest, I think he's the highest active, he has the highest active completion percentage in the CFL. Don't quote me on it. I think he does. But you know what? You can see why. When he went to Keesean Johnson 5 times in a row for that touchdown drive late in the fourth quarter, I mean, shout out to Johnson for coming up with those balls, right? But 5 straight times going to a guy that is going to come down with the ball, that's great quarterbacking, right? And he's going to pick you apart if you're going to leave the guy open constantly, right? That's just what Harris does. Harris is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And you know what? As a Saskatchewan Roughriders fan, it's a great thing to have. It's a great thing to have a top 3 guy in the league, and I believe you could argue that Harris is a top 3 guy in the league. Yeah, you know what? He's not great with his legs, but he does what he has. He does what he can when he has to, And you know what? That speaks numbers to our offensive line. Our offensive line is great. They played great, and I think if we move on here we're just going to move on here to our running backs. Ouellette was 13 carries for 96 yards. That's 7.4 yards per carry. Not to mention that, I think it was a 47-yard touchdown run. I was going to say 46, so I was pretty damn on. You don't do that without an offensive line. Don't get me wrong. Ouellette is a phenomenal running back. And you know what? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I had my doubts. When I seen Carey come in there and go for 6 yards on that first carry. Honestly, I think this team is probably one of the best running teams in the CFL. When you have a running back room that consists of AJ Ouellette, who is going to bully you every single run, Kadeem Carey, who is so fast, so unbelievably fast and shifty, and really good at the backfield too. Like it's not right. Let's not discount that. He had one catch for 9 yards. So, you know what? Carey is really good and explosive too. Like his average, he went 4 for 26 yards. His average was 6.5 yards per carry, right? And that's without Thomas Bertrand Hudon on the roster. Thomas the Tank Engine, as we're starting to call him here in Saskatchewan. Like, Hudon is arguably a very solid running back if you throw him in there as a starter. Like, he ran last week? He ran for, I think, over 60 yards last week? And that's coming in after Ouellette went down with an injury. Right? So, that speaks numbers to our offensive line. Again, I think the Saskatchewan Roughriders, we have 2 guys missing right now. We have 2 all-star caliber offensive linemen in Sean McEwen and Philip Gagnon out right now. This offensive line is still giving Trevor Harris at least 3 seconds to throw the ball per drop back. And then they are giving these running backs ways out of the backfield and ways to go down and score touchdowns. One of the best offensive line, and that's with 2 big money guys, 2 all CFLers, I guess as they're now called, out with injury. The proof is in the pudding. And then you got our receiving core. Keesean Johnson, I already touched on this guy. He has so much potential. It's crazy how much potential this guy has. He is going to be one of the best receivers in the league if the Riders use him enough. He came in for KSB, and he filled that role to the best of his potential. Duncan Busby was good, got open. Dante Myers was 5 for 5 for 40 yards. MLS didn't have as great of a game as I thought he could. I had him on my fantasy team, set him up as my captain. He just, he didn't do it. He wasn't great, but you know what? It's a one-off game. Things happen. That's what it is. Credit where it's due while we're on the topic. Stavros Kansantonis, one of the best players in the Canadian Football League. Character guy, knows what he's doing, he's a good player. Kansantonis was all over the field I guess yesterday as I'm recording this, because I'm recording this on Sunday, later at night. You guys will probably get it later tonight, but Kansantonis was really good, and I liked what I saw from him. The Riders would be lucky to have that guy in our pass coverage. And you know what? We're moving over to the defense. Aside from that Roland Milligan pick 6, that great play by Sales, I think it was in the second or third quarter, and then that play at the end by Allen to finish things off. Our pass defense looks horrible. I'm not sugarcoating it. This pass defense, when you let Bo Levi Mitchell throw to Kenny Lauther 8 times, and Kenny Lauther goes and scores and goes and puts up 162 yards on you. When Bo Levi Mitchell is going and putting up 336 yards on you, there's an issue there. Unfortunately, listening to the Green Zone after the game, from what it sounds like, this team is just not going to be great in pass defense. They're just not going to be great pass defense. But you know what? You go out and you're paying Marcus Sales. You're paying Lacombo, you're paying Campbell, you're paying Milligan, you're paying... Who else are you paying here? You're paying Dalkey. Maybe all these guys are... It's possible. I think a lot of this team is injured, but... you know what? This team, they have to get better in pass coverage. Like, my dad had pointed out earlier... Happy Father's Day, by the way, to all the dads out there. My dad had pointed out that quarterbacks like Bo Levi, Claros, and even Nathan Rourke, they're going to eat this defense alive. They're going to eat them up and spit them out, which is something that just flat out just should not happen. It's embarrassing. It's honestly embarrassing. And this team is known for their defense. Don't get me wrong, our run defense is phenomenal. The Riders, we held Greg Bell to, we held him to 46 yards on 5 carries. So, 9.2 yards, which, but let's forget, almost 20 of those yards came on 1 carry. So, take that with a grain of salt, right? But, that being said, overall, the Riders got the win. I'm just happy we scraped it out. And, right, you can be upset, but in the end, the Riders got the win, like I said. A lot of things to shore up. And you know what? We get there when we get there, right? So... yeah, if you guys aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, comment, share. Stream Too Late, which is my song. It's out on all platforms. And make sure you guys go vote for me for America's Next Hot Hitmaker. And go follow me on all my social medias. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. On Saturday, I'm assuming. Hopefully, after the Riders have taken on and beaten the Toronto Argonauts. I'm hoping they do, because if they don't, if they lose to Toronto, then there's some real big issues. So, yeah, I will see you guys next week.